I am looking for something. I searched through all the boxes, cabinets, and beds in the house, but I couldn't find anything. I am depressed. Is it true that Grandpa didn't leave me anything? I sat down at the door of the main room and began to ponder. When I caught my eye on the bricks on the ground on the right side of our yard, I had an idea, and I thought, couldn't it be hiding under here? The reason why I think this is because our yard is the same as my grandfather's yard, and a long time ago, I saw my grandfather dig out a few bottles of good wine from under the bricks. I guess this is our family's habit of hiding things, and my father must have been inherited by my grandfather. I beckoned Liu Yuancheng and said, "Radish head, come and uncover these bricks with me." Liu Yuancheng's head is very big, very similar to the kind of particularly round radish that is commonly known as radish head, so everyone gave him the nickname Radish Head. Liu Yuancheng glanced at me dissatisfiedly and said, "Why are you uncovering bricks?" I lied to him and said, "Look at the treasure buried underneath. It was left to me by my grandfather." As soon as Liu Yuancheng heard that there was a treasure, his interest immediately came, and the two of us began to uncover bricks one after the other. Underneath a few bricks in the third row, we actually found some clues, where the ground knocked up and made a pop sound, proving that it was empty underneath. When I wiped the dirt off the bricks, there was a small cement slab, and I opened it and found a larger one underneath, and when I opened it, it contained my grandfather's things: 2 plates, 2 books, a black lacquered box. Liu Yuancheng smacked his lips and said, "What kind of treasures are these?" I said, "Leave the treasure alone, and get the ground back to its original state." I took out only 2 books, then sealed the urn again, and the two of us relayed the bricks. When I was done and washed my hands, I spread the 2 books on my lap, and I had to study what was written in them. I opened the book of my physiognomy first, and saw that there were words and pictures in it. The words were formulas, and the pictures were pumped faces, facial features, heads, body shapes, and acupunctures. I picked up the Yishen Gongwu again and began to read it, only to see that the catalog read: reason, scheme, evil, divination, fu, Kanyu, astrology, Kimen, Mu, Qi, Dao, and life. After opening it, it was densely packed with grandfather's handwriting, and when I turned to the last page, I saw few lines of big characters written on it. Half of the moon is missing. The book of heaven remains, and the descendants are barely finished. I was stunned for a moment, and then I thought, is this just half a book? Turning to the last chapter, I saw that the title said Kanyu, but the last 6 articles were nowhere to be found. Liu Yuancheng saw that I was in a daze, so he casually picked up my physiognomy and turned a few pages, and recited a mantra: "The bones are not shrugged and not exposed, and they must be round and delicate. The bone is yang, the flesh is yin. The yin is not much, and the yang is not attached. If you get yin and yang, the young man is not expensive and rich for life." Then he smacked his lips and said, "What is this written? What is called the head of the supreme body, the length of 100 bones, the convergence of the suns, and the sect of the 5 elements grass, classical Chinese?" I rolled my eyes and said, "That has a bony look, you idiot." Liu Yuancheng said dejectedly, "What kind of treasure is the Book of Appearances? And it is not an antique? You can buy a copy for 5 cents on the store, and you lie to me again." I said, "Can the books on the store compare to my grandfather's? If it weren't for the baby, how could my dad hide it so mysteriously?" "Forget it. With your level of intelligence, you won't understand. Give me the book quickly. I have to hide it, lest my father come back and find out." Liu Yuancheng disdainfully threw the book to me. When they came back, I pretended to be nothing, and then glanced at Dad. He was seen looking at the ground, but he didn't seem to find anything. I hid 2 books under the mattress in my bedroom, and when I went to bed at night, I lay under the covers and read them with electric light. The book my run for is through the bones, face, handprints, acupuncture and the 8 characters of birds, combined with yin and yang, the 5 elements of the theory to speculate on people as good luck and evil. I flipped through it lightly, memorized some of the content I was interested in, and then I lost interest in continuing to study, but focused on the Yishen Gonglu. The principal chapter of Yishen Gonglu mainly talks about 3 things: the unity of heaven and man, yin and yang, and 5 elements of Shank, which is similar to the Book of Changes, and I looked at it purely as a philosophy. Plotting seems to be the set of Giguzi's vertical and horizontal shut-off. Evil chapter is about a variety of ghosts and methods to ward off evil spirits and drive away evil, which also combines a recipe for treating difficult and strange diseases. I read them through as interesting stories. Divination is the study of asking good fortune and marrying the culprit. The runes are full of all kinds of charms, illustrated and illustrated. Kanyu is about feng shui. After reading Yishen Gonglu, I suddenly felt that there were many places that made sense, not pure feudal superstition. So I read it again, which aroused my great interest in the second half of the book. I don't know what the chapters of astrology, Kimen, Mu, Qi, Dang and life will talk about. Is it really like what Grandpa said? After seeing it, I learned that I can do everything and know everything. Am I not a Buddha? I am having fun while thinking about it under the covers.